name's Laura Mackey. I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I thought I'd share with you how I made my Easter spring card, which features on my blog today for the creators blog hop. Our theme was spring, so I decided to use the Fable Friends stamps there, paired up with the Best Dressed DSP. I just love these papers. They're so pretty, and these almost look like daffodils, so to me it's very spring-like. So yeah, let me show you how I made it. So it uses a Whisper White card base, which measures 21 centimetres by 14.85, which I've scored in half at 10.5. Let me foam folder that in half. There we go. The base of the card has got the Best Dressed DSP. The Best Dressed DSP measures 10 centimetres by 14.35, and those measurements are on my blog. Now, I've gone round the DSP, if you can see on this one. Whoops. I've just inked the edges with the blue from Balmy Blue, so using a sponge and the Balmy Blue ink. And then I just went all the way around the edge, just giving it a nice blue hue. Sorry if the camera's shaking while I'm doing this. It completely changes the look of the paper just doing that. Then I'm going to stick it flat to my card base with a little bit of Tombow adhesive. There we go. And I do like, I always say I do like the Tombow just because it gives us a little bit of wiggle room and time to adjust the paper if it's not quite straight. Now the tag uses this tag punch, just cover that ink so I don't get stuff everywhere, which I think it's the Ornate tag punch, and this piece of cardstock measures 10.5 centimetres by 5 centimetres, which is about 4 inches by 2 inches by 4 inches. Just popping that in there. And then is what I did, same again, just to give my tag a bit of colour and give the bunny a little bit of a background. Just added a little bit of blue at the top. Like that. And then a little bit of green, and I've used Granny Apple Green for that. And the Granny Apple Green just goes along the bottom. Just building up the colour there. Like so. And then using the little grasses out of the Fable Friends, just stamp those along the bottom, again in Granny Apple Green. Like so. Now for our bunny. So I'm using, he does look like Peter Rabbit, doesn't he? He's not Peter Rabbit though, but he's a pretty good lookalike for Peter Rabbit. So I'm inking my Stamp Up in Memento black ink. And then I've just got a piece of off-cut cardstock here. And I'm going to stamp him on there, like so. Just going to give that just a couple of minutes to dry, and while that's drying I'm just going to stamp the greeting. The greeting I'm using is also out of the Fable Friends stamp set, and this one is called Hello Spring. There's Hello Spring and Easter greetings, but I'm going to use the Happy Spring, and I'm just using my grid sheet there just to line up my greeting, which I'm stamping in black ink. that's done. I'm going to just put my lid on the black ink there because it could be a recipe for disaster. Colouring in the bunny. So this one I did colour him in with a yellow jacket, but I thought I could pick out the pink this time, which is lovely lipstick. And I'm just going to start with the jacket. I'm going to add some dark, just zoom in the camera just a little bit. Hopefully my arm doesn't end up over it. And I'm just going to put some dark around the cuffs, around the little buttons, under his arms, just where the sort of the shadows would be. And that's using the darker ink with the thin end, and then I'm using the light marker, which I'm going to colour all over, and then I'm just going to work over where I've applied the dark, just working over it just to blend it in with the light. And then is what I sometimes do is I then go back in with the dark just to add a little bit more of a dark highlight. I left the little buttons white. So just really just working that ink and just moving it and blending the light and the dark in together. So I'm quite happy with that. I don't think I'm going to go in and add any darker highlights. So that's his little jacket. And then to colour the bunny, use the dark. And I kind of did his head first and his hands, and then I did his body, or her body, as she's got a pink coat. So this is the dark crumb cake. So I'm just going to just put up a little bit up his ears. Everyone uses these pens differently. This kind of works for me how I do it. I'm not saying it's the right way, but it works for me. And I do just think with the blends, it's just working and playing with them. So now I'm laying the light down and I'm moving the light over the top of the dark just to blend those two colours in together. And I'm not going to go to the tips of his ears. I'm just going to leave them white, and you'll see why. And doing it the same again. Just leaving that a little bit white, and then working around his face, her face. Working over that dark area, bringing it in, really moving those two together and bringing in. And then if you see on this bunny, she's got sort of quite a white face. So I've literally sort of gone in and then left that kind of area open. And then what I did was go in with my colour lifter and just working over that bit where I left it white and then slightly into the lighter area. Hopefully you can see that all right on there. It just literally draws a bit of the ink away, but it also just lightens it and softens that hard edge. So there. Oh, I forgot her hands. Is that the light? Yep. Just working again the same. If you wanted to darken up any of the areas again, you can. I just like to go back in on them little flicks that the actual stamp put down, because that sort of gives you the darker tones, or the darker shadows, should I say. And then the same again. And then using the lighter pen over the top again, and again really working in over that darker, where you've laid that darker pen down. So you're really mixing these two together. And again, so drawing it in, and because you can see here on her, that one there, she's got a really white belly, so I literally fingered it in as much as I want. I'm just going to add a little bit more, a little bit darker on those little lines there. Just going to just blend that in just a little bit, because I want to keep that shaded area. I'm going to put the lids on the 2 crumb cakes now because possibly I'm done with them. And then again, using my colour lifter, I'm just going to go and just lose that harsh line on her belly. Like so. And then I'm going to quickly, unfortunately there isn't a die to cut my bunny out. So she's a hand cut with the old scissors. She's not too bad to cut out though, and she is worth it. She's very cute. You see now how that ink's drying and you've sort of got a, ooh, can't even see it, there we go. Just zoom out a bit. So yeah, you can see now how I've got those tones of light and dark, and then there's also almost like a third colour there, giving her those whiter areas. Don't be put off if you have a go at this and you think, oh my god, it looks awful. Keep practicing with them. It's don't look at mine and think, oh my god, I'll never colour it like mine. Mine have been awful, and it's one of those things, just practice. Nobody's perfect at anything when they first have a go, and if they are, they're I take my hat off to them, they're pretty amazing. But it's definitely with the blends, even, I mean, I hadn't got a clue when I first picked these up. You just play with them and you get your own little, I don't know, your own little way of using them, really. Some people like to lay down a covering of light first and then go in and highlight, and I do that depending on what I'm colouring. This, because I wanted to leave white space, I prefer to go in with the dark first and then with the light. So it does just depend on, I think, the size of the area you're colouring with. But please don't be put off and don't think, oh my god, I can't do that, because you can do that. You just need to practice. So just with some, I'm going to add the, oh, I curled her ear. Do you see I curled her little ear? And I just used my bone folder just to curl her ear over. And then I just added some little dimensionals on the back. 3 should be enough down there. Stick her there. Like that. And I was also going to just quickly show you, so this one I used the Daffodil Delight crinkled ribbon, but this one I thought I would use Whisper White but colour it. And I didn't know if you knew, with the Stampin' Blends you can colour your own ribbon. I'm just quickly going to colour that. So I'm using the dark one here, and I'm just kind of colouring how much roughly I think I'm going to need. That should be plenty. And I'm just going to loop that through. Hopefully it's dried. And then loop that through, and then I just added some dimensionals onto the back of the tag. On my original, you'll see I cut out some little flowers using, so when you cut for your background, you're left with a sliver off the background. So all I did is I just cut out just some of these flowers, one on her head and then the 2 or 3 little ones there. But I think I'm running out of time. Yes, I am. I'm at 14 minutes and I'm capped at 15, so I'm gonna have to stop there, quickly tie this bow, and then once I'm finished, I will just hand cut some, wait, I don't know how I've shot there. So there's that. And then tie in the bow. There we go. It does need the flowers. I think it looks cute just adding the flowers. So there's my cards. I hope you've enjoyed me showing you how I made my card. Any products that you're interested in, you can purchase them over on my blog, which is www lauramackie.co.uk. Thank you for coming by.